Hey, it's been a while. Pretty sure it's been like roughly 2 months since I've last done a stream or something. So what gives? What's been going on? Well, I really should go ahead and give a bit of an explanation of what's been going on and where I've been. So I want to kind of go ahead and kind of owe you guys a bit of an explanation and make this video be something different than what I normally do on the channel or in general. This is something more on topic of mental health because I want to explain and pretty much kind of just really give a bit of a rundown on things been going on. So I've been on hiatus for a while given by things going on personally. This is one of those videos that I feel I want to also offer some honest talk and share how things have been for me. And I also want this video to also be something for people to know that it is okay to share your stories and what you face in the heat of life. I feel the struggles going on currently have really made me see what now I must do to become a better person. Because I think as of right now, there is a lot that I feel is redefining my place in the world and who I am as a person. Even if I know what I want to be and do with my life, I also want this to be something to let others know to not be afraid of expressing who you are as a person and to understand your place in the world. Because your place in the world is very valuable and you belong here just like everyone else. To me, I don't feel that we should also run from our own issues, but to also embrace how we can approach these things and not to let them define who we are as people. Because I know deep down we all know who we want to be for the rest of our lives. I do know what I want to do and be, but I also must embrace and approach things going on in the face of life right now and to not be afraid of approaching that. So pretty much this year has been a massive change with so much going on. And I think given by the situations that have occurred, they really have made me learn a lot about myself and what I can do and how I feel now about everything going on. The start of this year wasn't a bad start per se, but a lot of things going on in the world really take away a lot of what makes you question where your life may go from here. And all those events going on really just make you question just so much about your life and just how things are going to go moving forward from all those kind of circumstances happening. I also was in a romantic relationship where I wasn't happy. I lost that relationship dear to me a while ago that I held on to so much. I came to learn that pretty much recently through therapy, which I have been taking for the past couple months, that has been a huge help. Pretty much helping me through all of this, and it's making me realize that what I was in was not good for me. And I came to learn that I was in a very emotionally abusive relationship with someone who had unhealthy habits, and there was just so much negativity that it didn't form a healthy relationship. And the problem was is that I really overlooked on those things, and I just felt that deep down, I just really felt it was still hard for me to kind of just refuse to believe that there was something wrong with it. But now, as I look back, it really hurts to really just accept the reality of how things turned out to be. And this relationship was just a lot of clashing, and it just wasn't good for me in the end. And I can agree that I did make mistakes, and I still choose to become better every time because of what I want to become to be a better person. And I sought help for a reason, with the intent to grow and learn as a person. After all of that and now as of today, I really now understand that I am in a position where I don't pretty much essentially love myself. And I hate myself. And it's an everyday feeling. It's not a good feeling. And I hate everything about me. I feel that every good thing that happens to me, I don't deserve it. And that someone else does. It's been ongoing for so long. And with those thoughts just running through my head, it made me really kind of just felt stuck, given by everything going on recently. I didn't really know what I wanted to do or be for a while. That it just made me feel as if I even mattered being alive or here. With also losing a job recently, it was also pretty difficult, and it made me kind of question if my efforts were ever worth something. And when I was struggling with unemployment for a while, it was very difficult, especially because I really had a hard time trying to keep up with rent, bills, and having food and resources to be able to keep myself and maintain myself pretty much at the time. And I still am grateful for the fact that my family was stepping in. They also helped me out during the time when I really didn't know what to do, when I wasn't able to pretty much keep up with paying any rent or pretty much any of that. And I can say I'm very lucky to have them here. And I'm really glad that they were willing to help me out to really just get me through everything that was happening when I lost my job and I was given disrespect by a very, very shitty boss and a very, very bad management. I also recently hit a low, and I didn't really know what to do during the time when that happened. And I really feel like this is honestly one of those very difficult topics that now it's going to be kind of hard for me to talk about. But when I reached that low, it was the very things that I feared to ever really think about, which was suicide. And I felt lost, overwhelmed, and just really didn't know who I am and what I wanted to do as a person. I just felt stuck. And I turned to wanting to take my own life because I lost my sense of self and place in the world. And I grew up thinking that people pleasing was what I had to do to make things better, and putting others before myself, and endure just a lot of fights and situations that really, where I just felt like I had to just keep being kind and doing these things to just try to just lighten up and just make things better, when clearly things were not really going to get any better. And I look back at me reaching that low point and how it impacted me. It made me lose a couple friends who were upset with me for what I did. And honestly, I completely understand and don't blame them at all. And to this day, I still blame myself and feel like I have to be hard on myself for what I did, because I felt like what I did was wrong. And just me feeling overwhelmed was just not an excuse, because of the fact that I just felt low. And I feel like there has to be something where I need to take the accountability to also become a better person and to do the right thing to help myself get into a better spot than where I was. And it hurts because I don't ever want to ever be in a spot where I feel so low that I want to take my own life. And it's hard talking about these things because you know how YouTube is when they don't like it when you're talking about these kind of things. They got to censor everything, and it's just, it sucks because the thing about this is that mental health is a very, very important thing. And I really feel like, honestly, there's a lot of people out there who want to also be able to share their stories and also kind of share what they have gone through in their life or what's going on. And a lot of us want to be able to at least share a part of who we are, to know, to let people know out there that they are not alone, that there's a lot of us who go through so much. And there's a lot of things that people can relate to for what we're going through. And during the time when I was low, I was put into a mental health facility, and I was not treated well. And it didn't go as people expected, because I was just told that it was just going to be a better solution than just pretty much doing these other things that could help me out. And I was just isolated there, and I didn't really get any help. And deep down it just hurts because you really are calling for help and you're just shouting for help to just have someone there to understand what's going on. And sadly, these places, I just wish many can understand that it doesn't always solve or help people what they're going through. And I really feel that I didn't ever want to reach a degree of wanting to take my own life. Because I think now, after losing friends and it changing me, it has taught me to find the will to be a better person for myself and for others, and to start making a change and also forgiving myself, and that I can lead better with compassion for myself, and also to also let go of the judgments that I have to start slowly letting go of. And also that people can also learn from what I'm doing, is that we can lead with compassion and not judgment, and help those who struggle by offering compassion rather than judgment. And that we also can accept that there are so many things that we see differently than others do. And if we choose to find the will and motivation to help ourselves and change for the better, we can be kinder to ourselves and understand that we deserve love just like anyone else. We don't have to feel that we need to mute or silence ourselves from the pain we deal with, and that we can reach out and know that there is someone out there who loves us and cares about us. Growing up with also being on the spectrum and having ADHD, it wasn't pretty much easy either. And how it impacted me with developing skills and habits, it's a challenge because even dealing with depression and anxiety, it's like so much is going on and it's just so much in your head that is happening that it just makes you spiral because you just do not know how to approach or manage these things. And it also makes me try to think if I fit in like everyone else. I never really grew up having friends or people to hang out with in my life, except online, of course. But I really question how I was, what I did, and how I lived, and just my place in life because even doing content, playing video games, writing stories, doing some filmmaking stuff, keeping my at least myself at least active a little bit by going out, walking, or just going to places I haven't been to. I really just felt like I still question my place in the world online and in person because I understood how things go. You win some, you lose some, and that's always how life is going to be in both parts of the online and real life world. I just always kind of really just question if what I did was ever going to be enough or if what I did mattered or brought meaning and what I did was good or if it ever meant something. I wondered if people I really wondered if people really did want to hang out with me or not because I just feel like my mental health declining or the way I was, just that lack of consistency was the issue because I looked at that and came to just the feeling that it just feels like I think people just already feel like they would know that oh this guy has pretty much a lot of problems and it's just better to kind of like not it's kind of just better to kind of get away and just let him be and how I and like I don't ever stay consistent and it just feels like I always fall back into a repeating cycle of issues. And with these things, I tended to look at the bigger picture and to understand that some factors to these matters, the isolation, the struggles with my social life, and growing up in an environment and neighborhood that wasn't the healthiest, not even school, and just even many more things that really just stack on top of that. I feel many of those things made me kind of realize that how it made me develop as a person really makes me feel like all the things that that I also feel like I can be aware of that also were my fault and also where I can seek accountability on things to become better. I can be aware and be mindful of where to take my accountabilities and also try to also put an effort to improve myself and know that where I also shouldn't blame myself for the way how some things were because some of those things were also out of my control. And I feel like this is also why my connections and compatibility with people fell apart in the past because of the way of how I grew up in these kind of environments. And as I now go on with the help and the resources that I have now, and as older as I get, it's starting to make me kind of reflect to better see where I need to start improving myself and to better know like what I can do to help myself and who I am as a person and what I have not done yet that pretty much needs a lot of priority for me to grow as a person because I need to be candid as well. The goal is that I do not want to be a victim of circumstance, but to also start realizing that I need to be able to recognize what is going on and going wrong and that I matter and that I am capable of also becoming a better person to help myself develop into something well, someone greater than where I was before. And everyone deserves that too. We should be kinder to ourselves the same way we choose to be kind to others, and apply that love and compassion to ourselves because we matter and belong here the same as everyone else. We don't need to live life through a mask that hides everything that makes us who we are. Because when we choose to let go of the mask, we can find the peace to shape ourselves through compassion, help, growth, empathy, and vulnerability. And to me, there was a lot for us to realize that we belong here like everyone else. I will say for good news to lighten things up a bit is that I am currently in therapy, setting up case management as well, and looking at options for vocational rehabilitation and also having someone check up on me. And when I felt that something needs to change, I know that even if it's difficult with everything going on in my life and also what I deal with inside, I know that with a proper schedule and also proper management and taking my time with everything, I know I can fight to handle what is going on that needs a lot of addressing and just pretty much me recognizing that I am not a burden and belong here like everyone else. Trying is not a form of bad wording. And to me, I see it as valuable in itself. Because no matter if you succeed or fail, trying is as good as doing. And the other thing that I also have is that I'm currently also still working on some challenges still going on. Pretty much, I got a new work schedule, pretty much taking up pretty much a lot of my days. And I'm also working with counseling to figure out how to fight through what's discouraging me. Kind of also making sure I kind of have some set schedules for, better cleaning, better time to just, handle a lot of chores, handle a lot of these responsibilities to kind of help me kind of build a habit and just have a healthier lifestyle than staying in a position that doesn't really help me out. Because as I recognize the challenges of what's been holding me back, I think the things that I've been giving has been a huge blessing because of the fact that I want to be able to, put myself out there and go out there to pretty much have, a better time for me and also meet people, socialize, meet new faces and also just build greater and just so many relationships with people and to know that, that everything that I'm going to be doing, I want to be able to make a big difference as well in other people's lives. And I also want to do something also good, not just for me, but also for other people as well. And I know I have to do better, and I want to be sure that I can be able to do better for the sake of, being able to get out of a spot that wasn't good for me. I do not know where life will go, but I want people to know that just the same as what I'm going through, you will never be alone in what you face. And if nobody has said it yet, I am proud of you. I am happy that you are here. And there will always be resources and help around to access if you ever need to reach out to speak to someone. And I am also here to ever talk as well. And the thing with me is, as a streamer, as someone, I really, really want to do what I can also to be able to also just lend an ear and just to talk to people because I care. And I've always been a friend to many people. And it really makes me glad that as a streamer, as someone, I have made a big difference. And it does hurt a lot too when all these things that have been going on, I'm just glad that a lot of people out there, talk to me and just reassure and just tell me that I have done a big difference. And honestly, being able to just make that step to be able to help myself to become better and to get out of somewhere that I don't want to be. I want people to also know that they're not alone and that there will always be someone out there who loves you and cares about you. And I appreciate everyone who has been patient, not just with me, but just a lot of people being patient with each other and understanding of the things that have been going on. And I'm eternally grateful every day in everything that you guys have done and also helping me to become better. And I always will care if people need to call me out on something and communicate with me if I've done something wrong because I have to become better. I care. So that's pretty much it for what I wanted to really talk about today. And I'm not too sure when I will be back, per se, but I want it to be real sooner than later. And I really miss doing streams and hanging out with you guys. So as I continue to give myself time, I also will put the time I have off to also take care of myself and also keep in touch with friends and family who want to know how I am. And I also want to give my appreciation and thanks for all of you guys who were listening to this, and to those who are going through tough times as well. I want you guys to also know that you guys are loved, you matter, and you are capable of so much in this world. And you guys can always reach out to me or anyone you trust if you ever need someone to lend an ear to listen. So, you guys take good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you guys again soon. So, that's pretty much it. Much love, guys. Take care.